Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 16th, 2023, and my brother Jim, who's our oldest brother, he's 80 years old, doesn't look a day over 79 and a half. He's been on me for a couple of years, wanting to get more of a thorough update on how the beehives are doing. Probably one of the reasons is, I think one of his favorite stories to tell about him and I are a road trip we took to pick up nukes. That's when I first started the beehives here before the honey hut was here. And nukes just basically are a couple of frames of a couple of frames of bees that came from a traditional Langstroth hives that are put into a small box, and they're separated. So they have a queen and they have a colony of bees, and you use those to start your hives. Now the hives that I've got are Warre hives, typically thought of as being a more natural hive. They are a top bar hive, so they don't have all four frames. So the bees can make their comb in any which way they want to, just like they could inside of a tree or inside of a ceiling or a wall or in a floor. Bees do what they want to do. They aren't as organized as the beavers are. So right out here, we're out in the first food forest here. Been through here multiple times. There's Pepe. And this is the honey hut. I put this up maybe 5 years ago. There's a whole series of videos on the honey hut, a playlist about it and all. So I think this is about 40 feet, maybe just 12 feet wide. And I guess I should just walk around here. So this is, and I made videos on catching swarms in these swarm traps, and I didn't bother because I've been so busy the last 2 years. I haven't really hung these out, and I need to do that basically. And so here we are in the front of the hive, and this way is south. Sorry about this darn camera. And all throughout all three of the food forests, there's a plethora of different plant species that going to have pollen at different times, pollen and nectar. And with the diversity of the flowering small, from ground cover like clover and dandelions to the vining species, to the bushes, to the herbaceous layer, to the fruit trees and all that, and nut trees, they all are producing pollen and nectar at different times of the year. So there's a great bit of diversity of the foraging that the bees can do. And I'll tell you a little bit about each one of these hives when I get in there. So this is one of the hives, and you can see there's a lot of debris in front of the hive. And this hive was overtaken by mice this last winter. This hive here is occupied as well. This was a really big one that produced the swarms that started that hive down there and reestablished this hive over here. And our seasons are pretty short, and this is the third hive that we've got in the honey hut. And the weed down below it there with the flowers there, that's Pennsylvania smartweed. That attracts the Japanese beetles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera on my neck, a different camera than the one I'm holding right now. And I've got a small flashlight, since we can open the back door of the hive so you can actually see inside the hive. But I can't hold a flashlight and hold this camera on a gimbal here. So we'll do that right now. Okay, so I've got the camera mounted on my neck. I'm going to be using one of my magnetized lights that I have for all the vehicles. So really nice to be able to have these on the go whenever we need them. And we're going to go into the honey hut now, and it's an absolute mess in here. I've got lots of building materials and hoses and drip tape for the gardens, all of those sorts of things. And here I am with the first hive that we looked at. This is the one that mice had gotten into. And I'll try to turn the camera some so you can see. And as long as we don't distress the bees, they're going to be fine. And let me just turn on the light here. And so we'll just open up the top frame, the top box here, and you can see inside of here, the bees are building comb in here right now, all new comb. And you go down to the next layer. And you see new comb here, and they're building it rather haphazardly. You can see bunches down there. So this isn't the most desirable way for working with bees, and I don't consider myself a beekeeper. And here's the lower area, and they're still clearing out the dead bees on the floor. So they're cleaning the hive and taking good care of it. Now we're going to go over here to, I guess, this hive here. So this is the one that gave rise to those two hives there. So this one was really going crazy this spring. So this produced at least 2 swarms, and probably 3 to 5 other swarms came out of this one. And you can see a lot of the honey has been used in those cells. And that's one of the nice things about it here. Here they are working. Hopefully you'll be able to see okay. I love these little guys. They're just amazing. So that's the second hive we just looked at. And so these back doors, so I can see what's going on in there, are pretty easy. You have a small bit of insulation here to help during the brutally cold winters that we get here. And this building really helps out a lot, despite the whole front being wide open. And we'll go down. This is the newest, well, the first one we just saw was the newest one. This one here is several weeks old, and there's a big ant walking around the outside. So go ahead and take a look in here. So this is actually about 2 months old, this one is. You see here they've got the honey capped off in this area here. See the bees cruising around in there. You see they've got some new honey in here. They just are capping off at this point some other that they've already capped off. And see, this is the newest comb. So in nature, they start at the top and work their way down. They continuously build more comb down lower. And I don't know that I actually published any of the videos I did with removing colonies that were in buildings, but sometimes these can be several feet long. The hive. The combs, rather, sorry. I get mesmerized by my bees. So I'm going to go back to the other camera now. Okay, we're back out front with the original camera. Bees appear to be very happy. So that's what the hive looks like that have just produced a couple of swarms, and this is one that looks, the way it looks is they're really, the new bees are being emerging from their comb, and they're doing their various jobs. So, and I made quite a few videos, and on our website in the past, I haven't redone it. Our whole bee stewardship. So I'm not a beekeeper. I'm not someone who's in the business of producing lots of bees and selling nukes to get people started. I'm not in the business of harvesting wax and honey for sale. What we're doing is we're providing homes for the bees and habitats for them in an environment where these colonies can be strong, untreated, no treatments whatsoever, and either some of the colonies will pass because of harsh winters or because of swarms occupying a hive too late in the season and not having enough resources there. But we don't feed them, we don't do the sugar waters, we don't do any of those things. And I think that's fine that people do that. We're trying to have a very natural, organic system here on this property and let the bees produce their standard small comb, which most beekeepers are using a larger comb, producing larger bees nowadays to get more honey out of them. And we're just happy with providing them with a home and a safe environment with bountiful nectar and pollen here for them. So that's it. So Jim, this is your update for this year on the bees. I hope you're happy with this. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. But remember, there's lots of information from the construction of the Warri hives to the construction of the honey hut to our bee stewardship program and all. Well, thanks so much for watching and have a super fantastic and safe day. Be mindful of the bees. Don't bug them. They won't bug you. Bye-bye now.